Okay, this video is on MGM. I'd been watching it for a while and I hadn't really traded it much. I watched it some last year and it just kind of stayed in this range. Didn't really make a lot of headway. It was kind of a good trading opportunity because it was constantly between 19 and 23. But now what I'm kind of seeing here is back in 2013 it had this area that it tested and then immediately went to try and get into this higher range, and it never held. I mean, it was up there for half the year, and then it just, a year and a half ago it came back in this range, and it's been trading in it for a long time. Never could get back above it, struggled a lot, and now we've got the 200-day moving average starting to point down a little bit here. The other moving averages are coming in play. They had an earnings miss that was pretty heavy today, and the stock shows the reflection of that. It's down over 8% or $1.67, and I think this is going to be continued weakness in here. So what I'm looking for is it now that it's kind of tried so hard to stay within this range and get above it. It's just not doing it. So now it's going to go back to its original range, and let's look at that. I'm going to shorten up the chart a little bit and stretch it out so we can see. Now, if you could see where it's at right here, it's below this moving average, and now the original range, you can see a lot of this area right through here, and I'll go ahead and mark that with the price level. And just like I said, just an idea of a close area. I'm going to pick as many areas as I can, so it's pretty close. And I'm going to say the next area is back here. Okay, so you can see it's really an interesting setup. It's a really nice chart. This is kind of just a no man's land gap. Right here it had this immediate run up, a test, and then it tried. Well, now it's going to break down here, and this area, there's really no area of support in here at all. This is just kind of where it just had this really nice up thrust. The actual area that it broke out from was, let's just call it pretty close to, let's call it almost $15. Okay, well, now that it's breaking down here, there's really nothing to hold it in this kind of open area. So immediately we're going to see it kind of pull back to this $15 area and test that and see if the $15 area can hold. If the $15 area does not start to fill and hold, then it's going to be an immediate quick shoot back to down to, let's just call it around $10. So everything I see that's breaking down right now, we're breaking down, pretty good on the MACD. We're still up a little bit on the weekly chart for the RSI. It's still at 45. But after the earnings miss today, I don't really see a lot of reason for people to get in this. And like I say, there's just not a lot for it on the upside right now. So we entered this play in short, and what I want to see is we're going to go on the option play and see what we did here. The first one we were in here, we're at these just almost at the money, and we paid 85 cents. Like I said, we just opened this play today. We played at 85 cents for the 18 strike. Gives us 29 days just to see if the play is going to start to take off from there. So it's a relatively cheap play, and it has a good risk versus reward. If at 18 we get down to 15, it's going to have a $3 intrinsic value. So that's a considerably good reward for the price of what we paid for the options. And if you like, you can go out a little bit further and see what the Aprils were. The Aprils were, well, they're $1.04 now. There's not that much volume on that, but it gives you a lot more time. I just want to see if the trade's going to start to play out here very soon, because we can always roll those puts into the next month. So, but anyway, so this looks really good on the downside play here, and it's starting to unfold. What we're going to do is we'll go into the daily just to see where we're at on the daily, and we'll be able to show these areas just a little bit cleaner here. Okay, the breakdown on the daily is already started really good. It tried to have some up thrust a couple of times, once here and then once really from 16 back up into earnings, And since earnings were a complete failure, now you're below this. The only thing that was stopping was this little gap fill here. And so I believe that over the next few sessions, we're going to get back down to the 16 and then eventually down into the $15 area here. And you can already see where everything's just kind of falling back down. And so this is setting up really nice. It could bounce around a little bit, but I think ultimately we're going to get a nice play to the downside on here. And so this is one just to keep your eye on, see how it unfolds, and see if we can hit our targets on here. And for the price of the options, this is a really nice risk-reward play. And we'll look at this one more time here so you can get an idea. But you can see where this original area was right here, and this is kind of what our first target is, around $15. And then after that, if we have the time, we can roll those options out a little further and see if we can get past this $11.72 and back into the $10 area over the next year. So there's a good one for you. We'll follow up on it later. Good luck.